One thing to remember here, if you're making still water, it's always flat, always level. So every little line that you put in it must be basically flat. You can go anywhere you want to go with it, but you have to keep them straight. In still water, it's always flat.
Yeah,
Hey,
on that.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the Earth is a ball, then how is 70% of it supposedly water that always finds its level, and 70% of that ocean water, the floor is completely flat, called abyssal plains? How does that work on a ball?
The floor is flat?
70% of the ocean floor is abyssal plain, the
Okay.
flattest area in the entire world.
Okay.
How 70% of the ocean floor flat if the Earth is a ball?
Flat.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I've never studied any of this, but
Okay.
the ocean floor thing, the ocean level thing can be explained by gravity. Of course, it's.
Hey man, how is 70% of the ocean floor flat if the Earth is a ball?
What do you mean it's flat? It's just straight flat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
less than a meter change over like kilometers at a time. Flattest area in the entire world. 70% of the
And
ocean floor.
what's wrong with that?
Well, flat is the opposite of curved.
It's dude, that's like me saying no. That's not an argument, my guy. That's not an
Okay,
argument.
here's the argument. It's geometrically impossible for the convexity rate of terra firma necessitated by the global Earth claim of its radius value to have 70% of the ocean floor be completely flat. It's geometrically impossible. Is that a better argument for you?
Obviously, the article you read, they meant that it was flat relative to Earth, as in if you have like a flat surface on land, it curves like Earth.
What is flat relative to Earth? What does that mean?
I mean, obviously, if I look at a plane right now, it's gonna look flat, but generally relative to the Earth, if you zoom out, it's gonna be curved.
No, it's measurably flat. It changes less than like a meter over many kilometers.
How many?
Many, and this is over like say
Any?
900,000 square kilometers. 900,000 square kilometers, basically completely flat in one area of the ocean floor. So we'll use that one for now. 900,000 square kilometers, no curvature, almost completely flat as a tabletop. How's that work on a globe?
Look in the live stream for their depiction of the oceanic basin. A basin being a container that holds liquid.
Uh-huh.
Give me a second. I'm going to post it now. You're going to see in the image where the abyssal plains are. That's what Witsit is talking about. Now, obviously elevation is how high or low you are with respect to, I guess, sea level, right? So you can't have that and a different kind of elevation, which would be the curvature of the Earth at 8 inches per mile square. That doesn't work.
So are abyssal plains perfectly flat? Flat is almost an understatement. The abyssal plains are some of the flattest features on the plain. Some drop in elevation less than a foot for every 1,000 feet in distance. Sometimes there are small hills called abyssal hills, but generally, abyssal plains are as flat as a tabletop.
And this is from where?
Just some article, I don't know.
Just
Wait.
some article.
Yeah, if I give you the military, whenever they mapped out the topography of the ocean floor, saying that it's completely flat, will that satisfy you? Do you think the military is a credible source in this, or should I go to Harvard? What about Yale?
No. The problem here is that you sometimes use the military as a source, and then sometimes you say, "Oh no, the army, the government, they're all against us. We can't go to the South Pole."
Okay, so the
South
military
Pole
doesn't
North
work
Pole
for
Army.
you. Okay, what about Harvard?
No. I didn't say the military doesn't
What
work for
about
I
me.
want to
Springfield?
address that.
No, listen to me.
If you don't mind, I want to address
Listen
that
to me.
real fast.
Listen.
Okay, so listen, bro. We can use whatever source we like, right? There's this
No,
thing
you
called
can't do that.
hostile. Listen, bro. Listen. There's this thing called hostile witness in court. If I bring a witness in defense of my case, you think the defense attorney's going to let that guy go? No, he's going to ask him some questions, and he's going to see whatever kind of evidence he can get from the opposing side. Right? This is called a hostile witness. It's used every single day in courtrooms all across the world. There's
Yeah,
nothing
but the
wrong with
problem
this.
is,
It's us citing, listen, it's us citing our source, because if I cite my source, right, I'm just a high school dropout. What the fuck do I know? But if you want to argue with Richard Feynman or NASA, go ahead.
Yeah, here's
you
NOAA.gov.
first suggest that the military is lying to us, and then you later
Bro,
now
that's the
suggest that
genetic fallacy. Look it up.
Okay, listen, he just explained it to you very simple, okay? So I can cite someone from the other side as a hostile witness. This is because people that come in here and argue about it, they actually don't even understand their own side's claim. So we have to go cite their side so they even know what they're talking about. I just now cited NOAA.gov telling you that 70% of the ocean floor is abyssal plain and is remarkably flat, the flattest area in the entire world. What say you?
That is curve.
let me read this.
Just a coincidence that the branch that
Yeah.
works with NASA that looks at the ocean is called NOAA.
Yeah. Well, what is
Coincidence, of course.
what is wrong with it being called Noah?
Oh well, just a
No,
coincidence. I'm sure
in
that
his magic art.
Noah
Yeah.
is the one that survived the flood. But let's
Yeah.
get back.
Oh my God! Nah. Okay, dude.
Look, you're
Okay.
triggered, but you know what's
So
really
what
funny?
is?
Did you know that
No,
NASA
no.
names? Hey,
I'm not
listen to this. Did
triggered.
you know NASA names majority of their space exploration programs after religious names? So it seems like
Okay.
you partake in a religion, defend religious
Yeah.
zealots, and then get triggered at the mere notion of it.
No.
The Big Bang was proposed by a
Yeah.
Catholic priest. The Apollo programs is named after Apollo, the sun god. The heliocentric motto is Helios, the sun god. Almost all of them are named after the German. You think it's funny because you don't even know how ignorant you are. Majority of
No.
NASA's programs are actually named after the Greek pantheon gods.
Yes, but that doesn't mean they believe in them.
It's a religion. It's a belief system. Yes.
Yes, but just because you use the name
It's a
of the
blind faith religion.
No, listen to me.
But
Listen.
he missed the point. He missed the point. Okay,
Yeah,
all
what
of
is-
that other Greek, all that other Greek stuff is like, okay, yeah, maybe that doesn't matter to you, but the person or the persons that brought you your worldview, that we came from a big bang, and then there was gravity that coalesced everything into balls, even though that's a first law of thermodynamics violation. That guy was a Catholic priest.
Yeah.
So you think
I'm
when
not
he
gonna talk-
proposed,
no,
you think
no,
when he
I'm not-
proposed, do you think when he proposed this idea, it was scientific? No, because there's no observation, obviously.
No, that's listen. You just switched the entire point.
Okay, cool. Let's get back to
I'm
the subject.
asking-
How is the ocean floor flat? I'm not playing games with you, bro. How's the ocean floor flat if the Earth's a ball?
I do not have an explanation. I'm merely a college student.
Okay, well,
understand?
college
I
is
just
college is
got in.
definitely far beyond learning what the
Listen.
word flat means. So
Listen
are
to me.
are balls
You
flat?
cannot interrupt me.
Well, we're not
then
playing the
explain
game where you just go on and on with your sophistry and philosophy. We're talking about the actual measurements of the surface of the ocean, debunking the globe that you
I
think that
want
we're crazy
to
for not believing in.
understand. You just went on a rant for like 5 minutes about how they name it Noah, they name it about Greek gods, they name it about this, they name it about that.
Maybe 20
Therefore,
seconds.
what? Okay, 20 seconds, but you still said it.
Okay, so the only reason I said it was because you got really triggered that I dropped the gravy in here that the person that survived the flood, Noah, that's the same way you pronounce the part of the branch of the government that works with NASA that looks at the ocean. It's just a little tidbit. It's irrelevant. It's just a cherry on top. You wanted to focus on that because you can't answer the main question that I've already posed to you. How is 70% of the ocean floor completely flat as a tabletop if it's on a ball?
Indeed,
Hey,
I
man.
cannot answer that question, but if you're going to bring up these things, you have to back it up. You can't just say, because you can't answer this question, we're gonna have to ignore all of this.
So
that I said.
No, I already did back it up. I just now dropped NOAA.gov article describing it. So in the
Yeah,
voice
I know.
text.
I know. I'll have to read it through. I'll have to read
Okay,
it through.
so here's my question for you. Can 70% of the surface of a ball be
Cannot answer
flat?
that question. I cannot answer
Can
it.
a sphere be 70% flat?
No.
Okay, thank you.
I was almost sorry. I was almost scared for you because when you said you can't answer that question, that was analogous to the this woman
No,
saying she couldn't answer the question of whether or not she could discern the difference between a man and a woman.
Of course, the answer to that question is no. But the problem is, you want me to say no, and then you know that I don't have the
No.
resources
If
to
I
be
ask
able
you
to
two plus,
explain.
if I ask you what 2 plus 2 is it because I want you to say 4? If I ask you to count something for me, and it happens to be 4, is it because I want it to be 4, or is it because it is what it is?
Yeah, it's because of course it's gonna be
So if
4.
I'm using words that define, if I'm using words that define our reality as we experience it, like flat and level, right? Because flat and level informs anything, like a flat table, like a level picture frame, right? So when we use these words, we're not trying to make you say anything. It's just reality. But your worldview makes you feel like we're making you say things that you don't want to say.
No, the problem is yeah, of course the answer to that question is no. But why? I don't know. You don't know.
Because spheres,
I
yeah,
do
we do
not know.
know spheres don't curve. We do know.
Yeah, of course, but the whole
What do you mean we don't
point
know?
we know more
listen,
than you.
of course. Yeah,
It's
you
pretty,
know more.
pretty simple geometry, guy.
Yeah, I know
spheres
that.
don't
Never
curve.
I
think.
know that. I know that. Listen to me.
Okay.
You
Never
literally
think of
interrupt
yourself
every.
that you know
But
more than
he seems genuine, and since we've been
yeah.
speaking to him, he does seem like he's trying to work through all of this, and it might be heavy as hell what we're telling. So, you know what? I actually want you to answer. I mean, I want you to ask. I don't want to. I don't want you to feel like you can't rebut or respond, or please continue, because that's not how you're going to get to the place that I want you to be, which is sufficient in researching for yourself. Because again, all we're doing is telling you what's already out there. We're not telling you about flat earth dogma. You know, we're not telling you something because we wrote it down and it comes from an ancient book. We're talking about sources from the people that you find credible, my man.
Okay, so the problem I have here is that I'm being presented with a bunch of evidence, a bunch of statements, and then I have no, I don't want to say education, but I don't know the reasoning behind it.
Okay. I do understand what you're trying to say, but you're making an error and you're thinking because you think you're making a category error. First of all, you wouldn't ask why a table is flat, right? Like you would perhaps have a table because you utilize it because of its flatness. But you're never going to ask someone, hey, why is your table flat? Well, the earth topographically is a level plane, right? That's a measurement. That's an
I
aspect.
don't think it is.
Listen, it's not about whether you think it is or isn't. If that was in fact the case, you couldn't ask why for the same reason you wouldn't ask why a table is flat. I'm not asking you to believe it. I'm not asking you to say, okay, I'm a flat earther now. I'm telling you, you wouldn't ask why the shape of something. If that's what it is, that's just what it is.
All right, let me ask
Well,
you like this. So,
of course, I have to question why it is. You know,
okay.
But how would, go ahead, Witsit.
Well, I just want to ask
You
you like
understand
this.
what I'm saying?
kind of.
You
But the
understand
thing
what I
is,
you understand what I'm telling you?
I have to question it. You know, I have to.
No, not
It's actually
question it.
different.
We're talking about measurements. Witsit is telling you that the Earth measures flat. Not only that, but they admit it's flat with all the government documents. Not only that, but the ocean floor is also flat for the most part. And you're saying I don't know why. But that's analogous to saying, I don't know why the shape of something is the shape of something, other than a person who cut it to be that way, meaning someone created the dimensions for it to be what it is. Other than that, there is no other answer.
No, that's not okay. So this is where I think you don't understand what I'm trying to get to. The thing is, I know this is your explanation, but I do not know what the globe
No, I
Earth
didn't explain. I
explanation.
didn't explain. I
You know
didn't
what I mean?
explain.
I
No,
don't
because
know
I
the
didn't.
globe Earth explanation. I only
Okay.
have
I
a
don't.
flat Earth now explaining
Go
it, and
ahead,
I know
Witsit.
the
Sorry.
globe Earth
Okay, so
explaining
calm down, man. So, I'll ask you like this, all right? So, you said you don't know how to explain it on a globe. Now,
it. No,
could
yeah,
you
exactly.
calm down? Could you explain it? Could you explain it on a flat Earth?
No.
You couldn't explain why the ocean floor was flat on a flat Earth.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
Okay, so explain it.
Well, from you've told me, Earth is flat, ocean floor flat, therefore flat. That's basically what I've heard from you.
Okay, so you
Uh,
can explain how the ocean floor is 70% abyssal plain, the flattest place on the entire Earth. Yet, you can explain it if the Earth was flat, but you know it's not flat, but you still can't explain how it works on a sphere. Is that right?
Yeah, because listen, yeah, of course I can't explain it. I'm not a specialist in this whole thing. You can explain it for me with the flat Earth theory, but I haven't gotten the explanation from a
Why
globe Earth.
don't you
You
Google?
know what I
Why
mean?
don't you Google it or
I'm not
read
gonna
the
use
docket?
Google as my
Listen,
source.
listen.
I gave you two credible sources already.
Yeah. And flat earth theory is a scientific theory.
Here's another part. Here's a
Cause it.
screenshot from the source. Well, here's a screenshot from the source.
Am I
Look at it.
roboting?
No.
No, you're good, Elijah. You're
Oh,
back.
y'all just want me to shut up? All right, my bad.
No, I didn't know you were saying. I'm saying if you look at the picture right here, you can see that to get any of these measurements, they have to use a horizontal line. Do you know what horizontal is?
Bro, okay.
Do you know what horizontal is?
Yes, I know what horizontal is.
Okay, is horizontal flat?
Or curved.
It is flat.
Okay, so horizontal is straight and flat, and the opposite of that would be curved, right?
The opposite of horizontal?
Yeah. Well, that would technically be vertical, I guess. The
Yeah.
opposite of straight or flat.
What is your point?
My point seems pretty simple. You can't say that flat is actually curved, since curved is literally the opposite of flat. Okay, so to measure the sea level or elevations, which is the distance above the level. You have to use a horizontal, just like this picture. To measure the floor of the ocean, the depths of the ocean, you have to use a horizontal sea level. Then to measure the slopes in the ocean, you have to use the horizontal abyssal plains and take an angle from that. All the measurements we have that have mapped out the ocean floor and given us elevations and given us the sea level require us to make the measurements using a horizontal. They all those measurements require us to use a horizontal.
Okay.
Okay, so horizontal means flat.
Indeed, it does.
So the only way you can even get elevations is to assume the Earth is flat. The only way you can get sea level is to use it and measure it horizontal and flat. The only way you can measure the surface of the ocean floor is, again, to use horizontal, flat, baseline measurements.
So what they did pretty much is they just told you that you live in a ball, and until now, you haven't ever had to really challenge your reality and think about it.
I've noted down everything you've said. I'm gonna check it out with some people.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Because I can't defend anything because I'm merely a spectator in this whole debate. I
No,
mean,
that's
I
good.
ask
You want to
questions,
stay
I get
honest.
your statement, and then but yeah. So if the people ask can't prove it, then you could be correct, and you are correct.
Yeah.